Since on Monday I talked about Finn, a stormtrooper that begins to realize that maybe he's on the wrong side, today I wanted to share with you a story about a stormtrooper that goes through a similar thought process. This is unfortunately not canon, and even when it was published back in the day in the Star Wars comics, it was also not really canon. So this is Legends and in no way influences the current canon. I just really enjoy this story, and it takes place right at the beginning of A New Hope, and it is called Trooper.
The story begins with the stormtrooper praying to anyone that'll hear him. Please, 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 don't let me be picked to go in first. The trooper has done dozens of missions, and though he never sees the Star Destroyer's lasers hitting the rebels, or their return fire hitting them, or the hit the rebel ship takes in the drives that leaves them crippled, he doesn't need to, because he knows that's what always happens. No one outruns a Star Destroyer. He isn't worried about that part. He's worried about the part where the stormtroopers board the vessel because the man who's picked to go in first gets blasted and killed. Every time he prays it won't be him. You see, when the tractor beam engages with the groan, it gives the rebels all the time in the world to get ready, and the first man in gets blasted, but the others take the ship. 1, 10, 100 of us do not matter. Victory is all. The trooper begins to think about his past, and we start to get flashbacks. He was born on Greater Marianas, to a father that tried to instill in him, multiple times a day, that every man is born the same, a sentient being living free beneath the stars, no matter how rich or poor he grows to be. That is the last thing you can take from him, and anyone who tries is the lowest trash there is. He remembers the day the Empire came to his planet, when the Imperials proclaimed that Emperor Palpatine now had this planet under his protection, and though there would be no permanent garrison on the planet, the revenue, which some believe could be as high of a tax as 85%, would be gathered at mid and end of season. When people began to ask what if their planet didn't want to join the Empire, they told them that then they would be made an example of. They fire on the dad, and the trooper reflects on that moment. Everything I'd ever known, thought, believed, was lying in the dust, with a look no smarter than a Yagi. Pa had the freedom he was born with. The other guy had a blaster. The trooper remembers that he looked at his dad, and then the Imperial, and then asked the man to go with him. The officer told him he must take the test to join the Imperial forces, and prove he can follow orders, no matter what. He tells him to execute one of his fellow people. While remembering this, the trooper explains, to him, it wasn't evil. It was nothing more than common sense, a way off Greater Marianas. The trooper then kills the man without a thought. We then see the man's training to become a stormtrooper through more flashbacks, where a trooper lays down a standard issue blaster and tells them that the first of the recruits to kill 5 others will be accepted for elite training. The exercise will be repeated until all unsuitable applicants are eliminated. The trooper remembers that he didn't finish first, but third, and by then it took 10 kills to make the grade. When he succeeds, he's told to clean up the mess and report to the quartermaster. We continue seeing his training to become a stormtrooper through flashbacks, where they teach victory over compassion. When rock climbing and a fellow trooper was falling, they told him to leave him, let him die, and climb. They reinforced it. You don't matter. You don't count. Just reach the top. Take the ship. Kill the enemy. Die if you have to. But win. We jump back to current time where the trooper thinks, the odds have got to be against me. Done this so many times, seen so many others go in first and die, I can't keep not getting chosen. Then he sees Vader and thinks, oh no, that's all we need. Vader addresses their sergeant. This rebel vessel is a vital prize, Sergeant. Your men had better be up to the task. The sergeant responds they are. The kid behind the trooper makes a mess in his armor, and he curses the day he ever joined the Empire. The trooper continues thinking he got away from Greater Marianas. He was fed, quartered, and equipped, had everything he needed, traveled the galaxy, saw worlds he could have never imagined. And yeah, he did some things out there he guesses he wasn't too proud of, but he wanted a way out, and that's exactly what the Empire gave him. He did his job. He followed orders. Now, He tries not to think about what his life had become. He remembers one time when they were on a planet, when a prisoner says that they are all born free. The trooper kills the man, the words hitting too close to home. Back again in current time, the trooper thinks, like they would have understood, like I could speak a word of this out loud, like any one of them would even dream of questioning. Then he is picked to go first. Aboard the rebel ship, the droids work to open the door, and the trooper knows what will happen. The others will crouch behind him, and they'll go in shooting. The very instant he gets hit, they'll knock his falling corpse to the side and start engaging the targets, making the most of the chance he's bought them, just like they're always taught to do. He decides that if he survives this, he'll jump ship the very next chance he gets. He'll cut the ID chip out of his neck and disappear forever. As he's thinking this, they set the charge shape to blow the hatch inwards, the theory being the defenders flinch and you get that vital extra second, but it never works. He repeats in his head, I swear I'll leave these butchers behind forever, and then he hears, go! But this time the distraction worked. The rebels flinch and he gets that extra second needed. His sergeant is following closely behind him and instead is the one to get shot and killed. As he's gunning down rebels, he thinks about his escape plan. No one has time to fetch the tons of ex-Imperial out there on the run. The bounty is never high enough to get anyone dangerous interested. A man could start all over again. He remembers a TIE pilot that joined the rebellion, and the next time they saw him, he was in an X-Wing. As the trooper is thinking all this, he sees Vader walk forward and pull his Dark Lord act, killing a rebel to make a point, something the trooper has seen dozens of times. Vader says he wants the rest of the rebels alive, but the trooper is hardly listening. He's thinking about that TIE pilot, about jumping ship, about the rebels. He's thinking about his father, him dying, about that speech of his, the one he used to hate. Then, the most beautiful girl he's ever seen shoots him in the face. He hears other blasted fire as he hits the deck. He's getting cold. But it's never cold inside a starship. He hears the others. She'll be all right, he thinks, but I won't, as it fades to black.
Thanks so much for watching. Please like the video and subscribe for more Star Wars videos.